Hi, welcome to another NSP demo. This is part 3 covering off the new ICM Blueprint feature that was introduced in NSP 26.4. Hopefully you've watched parts 1 and 2 that will show you the values of the ICM Blueprint feature when it comes to centralized policy management. This video will cover the creation of a brand new blueprint template through the NSP UI, which will be used in a comprehensive unified artifact that in this case is for security CPU protection. And as you're hopefully aware, with the comprehensive unified artifacts, they cover both classic and model-driven SROS in a unified way. Not only will we be able to conduct the initial distribution of that policy, but also demonstrate how with a few steps we can update those deployments. Hopefully you enjoy. All the best. Bye for now. Hi, welcome to another NSP demo covering off, this is the third in the series, looking at the ICM Blueprint feature that was introduced in NSP 26.4. We're going to use a unified comprehensive intent type here, so where we're going to actually green from a top down. We're going to create a brand new blueprint template, and that's going to be able to support both classic SROS as well as model-driven SROS. So just want to show it's applicable for those type of intent types, and also bringing in support for model-driven SROS. It's exactly the same here. So just going to create a brand new template, and we're going to call it CPU dist test 300. Okay. Pick my intent type, there's my one there. Okay, as you see here, it's supporting classic and model driven. Okay, happy days. And as you see here, I could just make this just as flexible template, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually make this a blueprint. Okay, and this is at the point in time where I need to create some definitions. So we're going to call this test 300. Okay, we're going to do access network on that, and we're going to add a static policer. So we'll just give it just a main description, test 300, detection I'll put around about 30, log events, let's put that as true. Okay, and then action will say discard, and hold down timer, let's put that as enumeration, we'll put that as none just for the fun of it. And then rate set, we're going to do some packets on this one. We're going to set that to a unit. We'll give it 50 just so we can set something, and let's put 1 and 1 just for that, right? And just a simple configuration, nothing. I'm not going to do anything else. We'll look at that later on. Just doing it very basic at the moment. Click on save. Okay, we've got to scroll down, give it a name, and I'm just going to give this number 300. Okay, and click on release. Okay, so that template, that blueprint template is now available. Okay, if I have a look at my classic node and do config system security I think it is protection policy, and if I just look there, you can see this got one called Steve and the default ones. If I go on to a model driven node, okay, you didn't know it was model driven, but you will now when I'm in CLI. Config product, and do config system security, and do dist policy there. And if we go in there, you'll see that's got nothing as well. All right, even less. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So we're going to just do exit. Okay, and log out. Okay, so we'll log out of that in a minute. Anyway, so how do you distribute? Very similar. Okay, so it's, you know, if you're a former NFMP user, you've got your global policy and you just click on distribute. Very similar flow here. So what I'm going to do is click on here and say deploy to network. I'm going to deploy it. Don't need to, okay, so we got the targets. So I'm going to select my nodes. So I'm going to click, that is my model driven node. You don't really know. Okay, yeah, I'm telling you it's model driven, but it's, you know, it doesn't care. Okay, and I'm going to select that node Kronos, which is we've used in previous demos, etc. And that's my classic node. Okay, click. I don't need to look at the configuration because I trust the person that's created this blueprint template. I don't need to view it, but I can view what it's going to do as well. Okay, you can't edit at this point in time. Okay, that point, right? So you've got that, okay? You've got your policy name, so you don't really need to type anything. All you're really doing is selecting. As I said, if you're a former NFMP user, you just click on your global, you switched it to released, and then you select the nodes you want to distribute to. Very similar flow here. I've just selected my target, click on deploy, and that's it. I don't need to look at the details. If I now double click in that, you'll see it's deployed that to the node Kronos and Remus. Okay, you can see they're in sync with the blueprint. They're globally defined. Okay, so if I now go back, let's go into here, and if I do tab on that now, you'll see 300's in there. We do info on that. You can see, yeah, there's the configuration I did. If I go on to my model-driven node, oops, let me just log back in, because I forgot to, and then edit config, I logged all the way out, didn't I? So let's do that. So config system, security, dist, policy, and we'll look tab there. Look, 300's on there as well. And if I go in here, it's got loads of defaults, by the way, you know, so as well. So there's got some other default, but you can see there's the lovely configuration of 300. Done. Straight like that. So, okay, say all of a sudden, some days later, hours later, whatever, you're thinking, okay, oh, hang on, this blueprint needs to be updated, this distribution CPU needs to be updated. Okay, you just click on here, view and edit. Okay, scroll down, edit the form. And what we're going to do here, I'm just going to add a protocol, because I'm going to finish off my work here. I'm going to put ICM, I'm going to put static, for example, policy name. See, it's got the picker there for that. Detection time, let's put 30 in there. Random number, let's put that to true. Exceed action, we'll do discard, hold down. Let's put that as enumeration, I'll put none in there, just for setting that. And the rate, I'll go packets again, and let's put that to max. Enumeration max. Oops, set that, and we'll go 1 and 0 just for fun of it. Okay, so added that. Click on save, update and deploy. None of this, if you're a former NFMP user, you'd have to switch it then to released, then click on distribute. Don't need to do that here. As soon as I did that edit, any instances underneath that blueprint that are set for global definition will get updated immediately. So if I go back to my classic node and do info, you'll see now that protocol has been added. All that's just been added to it. If I go to my model driven and I got to do update config, okay, and do info on that now, you'll see. If I look here, you've got this, you know, where is it all in here? I can never tell. I'm not so good on this side. Well, hang on, it's further down. So we've got all the information there. So there's your rates, etc. going forward, right? So there's all, oh, sorry, these dynamic aspects are all here. Oh, they are. Protocol, that's the bit that's been added. Sorry about that. I was just a bit blinded by the amount of information there. But yeah, you can see there very quickly. You've got the same, again, I'm going to say former NFMB users, you can see there from a centralized policy management point of view, you've got greenfield, top down, push a new policy out. I can define a policy and push it out to the network. And when you're using the comprehensive unified artifacts, that's across classic and model devices at the same time. Really bonus there. But if I need to make those add moves and changes to that blueprint, it's just a simple edit the blueprint, click on deploy, update and deploy, and that will update all the instances that are in a global definition. And I really didn't need to get involved in all the nuances, etc. of that. Anyway, just wanted to keep it at that, so hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. All the best.